All is now set for President Bola Tinubu to constitute its cabinet. The Senate has approved the appointment of 45 out of 48 ministerial nominees submitted by President Tinubu as ministers. The former Kaduna State Governor, Nasir El-Rufai, and 2 other nominees, Stella Okotete and Delta State's Abubakar Sani Danladi of Taraba State, are yet to be confirmed as Senate awaits security clearance about them. Let's share the story with you.
Mr. President,
citing the constitutional provisions of Section 88B of the 1999 Constitution as amended, the Senate's Minority Whip calls for the suspension of the confirmation hearing of Mr. Festus Keyamo, a nominee on President Tinubu's ministerial list. Senator Nwokocha insisted that the screening of the nominee be stepped down until he explains his refusal to honor several invitations of the National Assembly over a 52 billion naira empowerment scheme.
I move a motion that we suspend forthwith this nomination and wait until when this is clear so that he can freely work in our environment and tell Nigerians, I have perfectly done well because this record has been put straight. Pending when he decides.
Senator Nwokocha's motion was seconded by Senator Einaya Abaribe, who also pointed out Mr. Keyamo's disregard for the National Assembly. The session soon turned rowdy after the motion was put to a voice vote, and it sharply divided the lawmakers, forcing the President of the Senate to rise from his seat to restore calm in the hallowed chamber. After an executive session that lasted for over 3 hours, the man in the eye of the storm, Festus Keyamo, who is now faced with the consequence of his past actions, tendered an apology to the lawmakers.
And confirm every single one with a BVN number. They are all there for complete transparency. Till today, we did not see one kobo of that. I needed to make that clarification. And like I said, I'm sorry for that misunderstanding.
The nomination of Honorable
45 out of 48 ministerial nominees of President Bola Tinubu have now crossed the last hurdle with the confirmation of the Senate approving their appointment as ministers of the Federal Republic. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, began the confirmation of their nomination after an executive session to deliberate on some matters arising.
The Senate may have scored a point with a threat to decline the confirmation of Festus Keyamo's nomination as minister. They will hope that moving forward, members of the executive, especially ministers, will show more regard for the legislature and cooperate with lawmakers to enhance the delivery of good governance. Tijesu Adeoye, TVC News, Abuja.
Yeah, the largest cabinet so far since 1999. 47 number. 48. Now 45
over 48.
48. I mean 45 cleared now.
Yes,
officially. So anytime from now, they can take.
I don't even know the. I think this screening, this security screening that they are talking about should have been done even before they were nominated. You know, for someone like Danladi, for example, that they are saying, oh, there is a court order that says he cannot hold public office for so, you know, then that of Okotete, they should have been able to clear those ones. What is the essence of the DSS? Their job is to, you know, once people, yes, they're supposed to do that due diligence, that check, before it even gets to the point that they will be screened. That, in my view, is what should have happened. Now, in the case of El-Rufai, nobody expected what Senator Karime said. Look, I have a petition against you from Southern Kaduna, and you know, matters like that are usually heated and emotive. So the Senate President did the wise thing. He said, okay, we'll defer. It's screening. Yeah, we'll defer his confirmation, you know, until that security clearance comes. hopefully this time that they have will afford them the opportunity to
Run around.
And solve the problem, because he performed, was one of the nominees that performed best,
El-Rufai is like
even his pedigree and all that. But people have issues with him, and
in
we've
terms of
seen that.
capacity,
In terms of capacity, is good. No one can doubt it. But people have issues with him in terms of even some of his utterances and all that. This, in my view, should also be a lesson. Because in the age that we find ourselves, you can't just say things anyhow. It may come back to haunt you. So I do not expect the president to drop El-Rufai because of this. I think that that security clearance will come in his favor. But
some
again,
president, no matter how, they can still
again, I think that the lesson would have been learned. I think that lesson will have been learned.
Well, I think it behoves on the security agencies now, I think the DSS, to do a more thorough job with the screening, because we have had embarrassing situations in the past where ministers, after being sworn in, now discovered that they didn't have NYSC, they didn't do so. Now you wonder, what were they screening? What were the DSS? What were they scrutinizing? I mean, so I think they should do more of this job diligently, so that, but for somebody like El-Rufai, I think is somebody that should pass that security clearance, right? Because it's one of those who actually worked very hard for the president. I mean, you can't blame somebody for being blunt, just like Keyamo. But I think another point here is that we need to moderate whatever we do, because Keyamo never knew that a day like this will come when he will be humbled. I mean, at a point, his hands were at his back, shaking his head, say, these people, our people, you won't get me, So
he apologized profusely.
See, absolute apology, absolute. So, and I think these are lessons that we need to take, that after these people must have cleared you, you become executive members, you are the chief executive of your ministry as a minister. When they call you as part of their oversight functions, you must go there and answer and explain. I mean, like Emefiele, they called him several times to come to the Senate. He never responded. Only on a few occasions. So
he went.
Yes, he later went. He was giving one excuse or the other. I mean, maybe after so much pressure, when they wanted to recall him,
I think
when he went there.
As I said before, these people have the duty of oversight. But some people stay away because they accuse the National Assembly members of extortion. Whether they do it indirectly or they use agents to do it, it has to stop.
Extortion.
No doubt
Yes,
about that.
it is not the duty of the agencies, the ministries and departments that you are oversighting
To fund
the job,
activity, yeah.
to put you in hotels. No, when you do that, you are setting the table.
Yeah.
You are setting a table for compromise. People they will now give you money. They will put you in hotel. Remember what happened? Yabo Obasanjo, that matter.
And the second,
Aruma Ote. This thing has been happening for some time. If they don't conduct themselves with integrity, people will not respect them. People will not respect them. You just see that, these guys are disrespecting them. It's because of some of these behaviors.
Yeah.
What is even when you hear of lucrative committees? What are we talking about here? Why is it lucrative? If it's simply to do the job for your country, how come it is lucrative? Why is it lucrative?
Like in the police, where we have hardship postings, they say some people have.
They too have to conduct themselves diligently. Otherwise, people will not respect them.
Okay,
really
Moji Jami, thank you for your contribution today. And the Metro Babajide Kolade Otodoju, thank you for always being there. And that's our package today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight by 11 p.m. Join us this Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Uzubaku. See you tomorrow, and God bless you.